down 1,000 times. I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm standing right here. Demons all around, but I ain't got no fear.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert, the fantasy football counselor, and we've got an exciting one here for you, a super exciting one. We are talking about the top 10 fantasy football sucks for the year. In this show with me, a person that sucks more than anybody.
Whoa. How did you get that sound?
Oh, yeah. Tim the Bald Guy is here, and it is the suck-a-sode. Tim, are you excited about the show? Are you excited about the sound? What do you think?
I hate the sounds. You know I hate the sounds. That sound's not bad, but you're going to overuse it, so you're going to kill it. Yeah, see? 2 times already.
It's a good one here, Tim.
It is a pretty good one. I'm trying to decide, is it a toilet plunger? You know,
you can use your own imagination for this one, Tim, but it's basically our players that suck, down, thumbs down, and we got 10 of them here for you. We had an argument before this, so let's not even talk about it. Let's just argue on the show, because one of the players, because I've got 5 players that suck, and you got 5 players that suck, and one of the players that you chose that sucks happens to be one of my favorite players this year. So there's going to be we had a spirited debate offline, so that's going to continue here on the show. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, let's just roll into it, and we'll just, you know, I like to keep it as natural as possible, and that's why when I screw up, we leave my screw-ups in. To hell with it. We're only human. Let's just roll it.
Speaking of screwing up, don't do that this year by listening to the Kinsheeps. Make sure you guys secure the 16-round draft, which I've linked it below. Use code SMASH to dominate your leagues and save. That's it, guys. 16-round sleepers, breakouts, optimal players to draft in each round. Secure the solution. Secure the championship. I've linked it here below. And head on over to thefantasyfootballaccounts.com under programs. And also join our Patreon group. Tim might dive into the Patreon group once in a while, say hello. It's an exclusive access group. Everything you need for in-season waiver wire starts and sits. Amazing community. Gwen is going to be in the group too, Tim, as well. She's going to be contributing on some of the lives. It's going to be exciting stuff. Patreon group, patreon.com/FFcounselor. Tim, lots of stuff to get people in the community, get people set for their drafts. I'm excited. And in this episode, we're going to tell you players that suck and players to avoid. Do not draft. Do you want to start off with your first one here, Tim? And
I would love to.
And I'm excited about, I'm so excited about the show. I'm excited about the sound.
No, you're going to ruin it too much.
All right. Okay. So that's your intro for your, that's queuing in your player. The side. Right. I know you want a drum roll, don't you? Or a magical twinkle, or no, you're good.
No,
let's just roll through it.
I want nothing. I'm just going to say it's Deebo Samuel. And it's not that he sucks. It's the way people perceived him last year based on 2021's value and what he did then. So, it's not that he sucks, but he sucks this year. He's being drafted too high still. It's a little more reasonable this year, definitely kind of balanced out. But yeah, he had an amazing 2021. Everybody was like, oh, dude, he was so great. He rushed for a lot. There was a lot of weird trick plays and stuff. He got a lot of touchdowns that way. So it overinflated his numbers. Everybody thought pretty highly of him last year, and he did not pan out as expected.
Yeah, Deebo Samuel, and I believe... Yeah, last year I was just checking if I spelled his name wrong. I probably spelled it wrong. But either way, yeah, I mean, he was inflated in 2021 because he had those rushing touchdowns. And everyone's like, yeah, draft him high. I'm like, no. He's not a running back, but they used him as a running back. Had a decline last year. Now the Kinsheeps are a little bit off him this year. But either way, people are still paying relatively high for him. I do not trust Deebo Samuel. Although, that being said, I think he has a better year than he did last year. You got Brock Purdy coming in. You know, I don't think Trey Lance is going to be the starter. They were talking about trading him, the rookie that got hurt. They got other options. I mean, they got Ayuk that sucks. They got Kittle. They got Christian McCaffrey. Healthy Christian McCaffrey's going to get his targets. Elijah Mitchell. Theoretically, Deebo should be the second, maybe third target, but there's no clear-cut answer on where he's going to be and how much targets he's going to get with this quarterback, finally getting settled in Purdy. So, yeah, I mean, he doesn't suck, but not a guy that I personally trust. But that being said, I still think he has a better season than last year. What don't you think?
I think he's going to kind of be around where he was last year. I think there's just too many options there, like you say, and that he's probably the third look. I mean, you've got CMC, who's amazing receiving and rushing. You've got Elijah Mitchell, who was looking really good, but just cannot stay healthy. So I think all those factors together, I think Deebo's kind of right where he should have been last year. That's his numbers. That's where he's going to stay.
Yeah, so I guess we have different definitions on what an actual suck is. So that last little slurp.
I love that last little one. So slow motion suck.
So we have different. So mine is like years to wow us, we're not wowed players, and Tim's just picking players that I think thinks are going to suck this year. So I think
this year, yes.
Yeah, I think we're looking at it a little differently, but that's okay. We weren't prepared for the show. People know now.
We had a difference of opinion. Yes, I'm looking this year only. You're looking all past years. However, it's kind of funny to me. We talked about this off air that you did not put CMC because you've always been like, he sucks, he's overhyped, he's CMC, blah, he can't stay healthy, Dalvin Cook, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. There's
you didn't do that here, so that's really good. I'm commending you on your list.
Yeah, still CMC may suck this year based on last year, but he's not an overall player that has years to wow. We're just talking about players that absolutely suck. Just I would never draft, you know? All right, next guy here is a guy that I've got, my second guy here. And the guy I'm talking about here is Miles Sanders, who is in a new landscape with Carolina with a rookie quarterback. 37th overall, pretty expensive for a guy, you know. And here's the thing. A lot of people are going 0 RB, and they're like Miles Sanders is their RB1. I'm seeing this in mock drafts. I'm seeing this in reality drafts. Last year, finished 15th amongst running backs. Not bad. Was on a good team. This year, suspect team, sharing the backfield with Chuba Hubbard. You know, that name, Choo. I want to say like Choo or something like that. But Chuba Hubbard, you know, Chuba might be a bit of a threat to take some volume away. I'm not excited about him. I mean, 11 touchdowns, 1,269 yards last year, but totally different offense, right? I mean, he could thrive. He could do safe, but he's just a guy that's been mediocre at best, never been a top 5, top 10 guy, and doesn't get me excited, doesn't wake me up in the morning, and don't fall into the trap of like getting your ace wide receivers and making this guy your RB1. And that's the problem. And I was running a couple mock drafts actually, Tim, and as I was running these mock drafts, I ended up going wide receiver, and man, it starts getting thin, you know, in rounds 3 and 4, with the available running backs. I mean, you got Kenneth Walker there who could have a good year, but they drafted Jack Charbonnet, who could be a RB1 himself. You got Cam Akers. You don't like him. I know I'm not a fan of him. Years to wow us, we're not wowed. The J.K. Dobbins of the world. So it gets really thin, and this is one of the guys that comes off early is Miles Sanders. I don't trust him, Tim. He sucks. That's it.
Yeah, basing it off of last year, you shouldn't do that. That was an anomaly year for him. He's not that good. He had inflated touchdowns last year. So if you do the heavy wide receiver at first and then he's your RB1, you're in for a hurting.
All right, Tim, you're up in here. And I'm not going to give this guy the sucking noise because I disagree with you on this one. Here's our battle. So he gets a magical twinkle. He gets a breaking news.
You get everything here.
And he gets a belt because I like him. This guy does not suck, but Tim somehow in his crazy...
This guy does not suck.
Were you drinking?
This year, he's going to suck.
You were drinking, I think, before the show. I don't know what you were doing before the show.
Jonathan Taylor, this year you suck.
You don't see
I said it.
Can I just say something? Actually, you can't see the banner, but below I've written here, it says Jonathan Taylor, the name, and then hyphen Tim is crazy below. Just so you know. So I don't want you to watch this later and say, what did Joe say? So I'm being completely transparent here with you that you suck for saying this. So there you go.
Yeah, you know what, man? You can always make fun of me. I don't care. I don't take anything personally. I love Jonathan Taylor, but this year, I don't know. It's a little bit of a mess at quarterback. We were talking about this already. You said it could be Minshew, which I believe it could be Minshew for the first few games, but then they are going to move to Richardson at some point. Richardson is a running quarterback, rookie, very unknown. You know, I mean, they drafted him pretty high, so they do believe in him. But I never like this. I always like them to have that first year to under their belt. You know, and that's why I believe it's good if Minshew does start the first few games at least. Let Richardson kind of see how the game flows and see what's going on with his team, and then he could step in. I still don't expect amazing things. I think he's going to do a lot more himself, and I think that's going to hurt Taylor. So Taylor does not suck in general. I just do not like him this year. Yeah,
the only question marks with him is like how is he going to bounce back this year? Obviously, new quarterback, you know, coming back from injury last year. The big thing, again, is the quarterback. He rushes a lot. He is a running back quarterback, and I always tend to stray away from running backs that have quarterbacks that are running backs. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, he doesn't suck. Tim's crazy, and the audience, you know, don't you agree, audience, that he's crazy a little bit?
I mean, chime in. I've made my point. I think the quarterback situation is what's going to hurt him this year. I do not believe that Jonathan Taylor himself sucks. I think it's going to be the team.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim's crazy. Right, audience? Yeah, he's crazy. Seems like everybody seems.
Good call, Joe. Good call. Yes.
It's that calm clapping. It's not even like, it's that like, you know, that intimate, like Oprah Winfrey 1990s.
Like you're at an award show or something, you know, we'll clap, but we're not going to get crazy here.
I want to have that like intimate clap because we have the crazy clap too, but I didn't want to put that in there. People, you know, and it's funny because we're getting mixed signs with the sound effects. Some people are like, yeah, more sound effects. Some people are saying you're crazy with the sound effects. Some people are saying put the sound effects in, but don't talk about them. It's a mixed bag. I just can't stop. It's too much, man. I've got so much power here.
I hate I believe you overuse them.
No,
I don't mind sound effects if they're used at the right time and they make it really funny or something, but I do believe you are overusing them, which takes away from it.
That's not true.
Yeah.
It seems like
case in point. Oh, good point, Joe. Good point.
It seems like they agree with me every time. All right.
Yeah.
I can't stop with this, man. I can't stop laughing. All right, the next one here is a total suck, and people actually are drafting. This is what's ludicrous, Tim. They're actually drafting this guy as their RB1. And again, another situation like Miles Sanders, like, oh, I love me some J.K. Dobbins, and that's another guy, 3rd to 4th round ADP. Typically, 4th round is what I'm seeing in a 12-person league. Now, again, sitting 33rd overall. Yeah, man, 17th amongst running backs, ahead of Gibbs, ahead of Dameon Pierce, who I like a little bit better. The guy had a decent rookie campaign with like 805 rushing yards. I think it was the year 2021, got completely hurt, tore his knee, missed the whole season. Last year, what do you have? 520 yards, a couple touchdowns, finished 56th amongst running backs. The guy is embarrassing, and he's on a team now. Again, everyone's so excited about Lamar Jackson, who has not thrown over 3,000 yards in how many years, has not finished 12 games, and like he'll play 12 games last year, 12 the year before, has not been finishing seasons. Everyone's like, oh, they got Odell now. They drafted a rookie wide receiver. They're bolstering up this team. It's still J.K. Dobbins with a running back for a quarterback. I'm not sold. And what pisses me off is the fact that they paid Lamar more than any other quarterback. Jalen Hurts is better. Pat Mahomes is better. Josh Allen's better. There's so many better quarterbacks out there. Justin Herbert is a better quarterback. You know, Lamar's just a running back. You know, a glorified running back that can throw the ball. I'm not sold on this team, not sold on this offense. And again, people going zero RB, like, and then making J.K. Dobbins their RB1. Don't trust it, Tim. I don't like this guy at all, man. I don't.
Yeah, you're in for a hurting. Like you say, this guy can't seem to stay healthy. He's young, so he's still got some opportunities. But last year wasn't looking too bad, and then I think he only played half the year again. So it was looking like it might have been a decent year. But you're right, man. Lamar Jackson, running quarterback, relies more on his legs than anything. So that all these factors, these are all the things you have to look at and take into account. You know, if they get to the 1 yard line, who's going to run it in? More than likely Lamar. So
Dobbins.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but when you have that running quarterback, there's more of an opportunity that he's going to take it himself and screw you over. So I don't like it. Like I said, I commend you on a lot of your picks here. I'm only going to screw with you on one. So again, I believe you're right here.
I was hoping we have a spirited fight today. So
there's only one. I mean, I picked all the guys you want to fight and argue with.
The problem is we have too much of a calm crowd here today. They're very calm. We need to get the rowdy people in here. That's going to get us worked up into fighting, I think.
It's like we're in the church.
It's a calm setting. It's a calm setting today. Very calm. Very calm. All right, let's move on here to the next one here, which again, I agree with this one. Your next player that sucks had a great year last year, and I think it's a pinnacle year. No way but down for this guy. But the guy that wanted to fight me. He wanted to fight me, Josh Jacobs.
I typically love JJ. I do. Like we met him a long time ago when he was coming into the draft. We met him at the thing. We talked a little bit, and I've liked him. He's got a great presence. He's, you know, seeing his body, seeing his size in person makes all the difference. I still think he's going to put up some great numbers. He, like you said, last year was good for him. However, now you've got Jimmy G, and I friggin' hate Jimmy G. You are useless. So anyways, I'm really concerned for JJ's numbers this year. The TDs especially. Jimmy G is not that guy that's going to get your team in great positions to put in the points. So that's what's going to affect Josh Jacobs here. I'm sorry, man. I love you. I love you as a person, as a player, but this year you're going to suck.
Yeah, I think he's on that franchise tag. There was threats that he might hold out. I don't know. But him and Saquon, contract issues, a lot of lingering running backs. Running backs is weird this year because there's a lot of people that are still like free agents. Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette, Zeke Elliott, Dalvin Cook has just turned down. Here, Dalvin Cook is ready to spoil my Breece Hall buzz. Hopefully he doesn't end up with the New York Jets, which they don't need him because they got Breece the Beast and they got Michael Carter there, who's a 1,000-yard rusher himself. But Dalvin Cook actually ended up just turning down I don't know what the amount was. I don't think it was given. Maybe it was, unless I'm missing it. But it turned down a deal with Miami. That's his hometown. That's where his family is. That's where it's nice weather, right? And turned it down. I mean, you have no business to be negotiating. You're at your twilight years of your career, sunset years. You're not. We've seen the best Dalvin Cook. He's done, and he can't finish seasons. He finished last year, but didn't do well in fantasy. He finished just outside the top 10. And he busted based on the ADP last year. So again, Dalvin Cook being picky, it's crazy, man. Jacobs' contract deal had a pinnacle year last year, but it was always just a mediocre running back. He was never someone who's outstanding. Gets a downgrade at quarterback. People are going to overpay for him this year. He was a third-round pick for years, third to fourth round. He was going always with Montgomery. Now he's inflated. I'm not buying the hype on last year. No way but down. So yeah, he's average. I wouldn't say he sucks, but not a guy I'm drafting. And you're right, maybe a decline this year for sure.
Yeah. Like you said, he doesn't suck. He's a decent running back, but this year is a decline.
And you talk about my sound effects in moderation. They have been moderate because he didn't get the sucking sound, but this guy is getting one. There it is. DeAndre Swift. Now, he's coming off round 6-ish, give or take, depending on how many people in your league. Finished 21st last year amongst running backs. This is the guy that everybody last year was really all over his junk, all over it. Last year, he was a top 8 running back. I was saying, avoid this guy. Years to wow us, we're not wowed. Sure enough, he busted. And nobody's talking about how bad he was. Nobody's being held accountable. Nobody's saying, hey, Joe, you were right. You're the only one that warned against DeAndre Swift. He sucked. Williams came in, took all the goal line work in Detroit. Now he finds a new home in Philly with another injury-prone guy that is Rashad Penny. Both of these guys suck, but they are on a good team. That's the only advantage. Again, years to wow us. We're not wowed, not sold. And again, in 3 years, guess how many, Tim, I don't know if he's looked at his stats. Guess how many rushing yards he's had peak. What is he not eclipsed? What's his max? What do you think he's hitting rushing yards? Have you looked?
I thought it was like 900-ish.
No. 617 yards was his max. Yeah. He hasn't even eclipsed 617 yards on the ground. This is a guy everyone told you, all the analysts were riding his junk, saying draft him.
He did have high receiving yards last year, right? Though he was almost 500 receiving yards, I think.
I don't know. I don't even care.
It was pretty good. I mean, and that is substantial, but you nailed it right here. He's on a team now that have 2 mediocre running backs. They're both kind of right there, neck and neck. Neither one of them stands out above the other. Yeah, it's just a crap show. It ain't going to happen.
You're making me look up this crappy guy. 389 receiving yards. I did say he finished 21st amongst running backs. So, yeah, I mean, that's trash. I mean, 21st in fantasy points. He had 191 points. Again, this guy was drafted in the first round. Everyone told you draft him. Everyone. Every magazine. You want me to get the magazine? Hold on. I'm getting the magazine. You're making me break out the magazine, Tim.
Oh my God, you're really going in.
This is an ESPN magazine last year, and everything goes in line with the magazine. It's not just the magazines I'm picking on. It's actually everybody, right? Everybody, the consensus rankings, everybody. So I'm just going to the running back ranking. I got to pull this up because it's bothering. So DeAndre Swift. Actually, I apologize. He was 11th in this magazine, but I know for the Conshipsis rankings, there it is. Can you see it, Tim?
No, I'm not even looking. Just explain it to me. Pretend I can't see.
Okay, the point is everyone was riding him and he sucks. Okay, there you go. He sucks. All right, moving on to the next one here. Let's go. Who is yours? And I don't even care. This guy sucks so bad it doesn't even work. No one's drafting him.
This is my best one for a guy who sucks because this guy truly does suck. This is a years to wow me. I'm not wowed. So I nailed it on this one. This is Jimmy G. Always hated him. Will continue to do so. He is a extremely overrated quarterback. He can't stay healthy. He doesn't run. I don't want to call him a piece of shit because that's not a nice thing to call a person. But I just don't like you. I don't like you at all.
He sucks.
Overrated.
Garbage. I mean, I don't even know why we're talking about him. I mean, there's tons of players that suck that I just didn't put on this list. Like, there's so many. I could go on. Tyler Boyd's of the world, right? Donovan People-Jones of the world. Like, there's tons of players that suck that I'm just not going to draft. And I'm just not going to mention, but you happen to mention this guy for some reason. I don't know why.
Because he totally sucks. And he does get drafted relatively high as far as quarterbacks go. And he's never been that good.
Not this year. No one's drafting. He's going undrafted in leagues. But before, people may have drafted him. But this year, no one's drafting him.
Good. That's where he deserves to be. You're not even a person.
A couple years ago, they were looking at him. And again, he's going to affect everybody else around them. Everybody else.
Yep.
So,
and that's one of the reasons why I put down Josh Jacobs as well.
all right, next guy here is going into a terrible position, terrible team. He's going on the Bears with Justin Fields, and the only upside Fields has is on the ground with rushing. So DJ Moore, number 21 amongst wide receivers, ahead of guys again like Drake London. He is sharing the wide receiver committee there with Darnell Mooney, who was supposed to be the one last year, sucked because Fields sucks, right? And Chase Claypool, who absolutely sucks as well. Now, Fields last year, 318 attempts, which is peanuts, 2,242 yards. 17 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, Tim. Trash quarterback. Can't get it together. Now, well, he's settled in now, blah, blah, blah. I get it. DJ Moore is just not a good wide receiver. Well, everyone goes back to, he's a 1,000-yard wide receiver. He's a bunch of 1,000-yard seasons receiving. He sucks. The quarterback sucks. I'm not spending it. And he's coming off pretty high, man. He's wide receiver 21. Again, what is that? 4th round-ish. I don't even care to follow his ADP because I'm not drafting him.
Yeah.
The situation sucks. With Justin Fields throwing the ball, not exciting. When you go for a wide receiver, especially, round 3, 5, 6, 7, all those guys, try to get a quarterback that's going to throw the ball a lot. And there's a ton of rookies that could step up. A Quentin Johnson I'd rather have. A Drake London. I know Desmond Ritter's suspect, but at least you're not getting a quarterback who's a running back throwing the ball. Don't trust him, Tim. Again, everyone just loves DJ Moore. I've got him round 4 to 5 ADP. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't believe in that at all either.
He sucks. All right, next guy here. This guy here, I looked at it first, and, I think he's a safe running back. I think, a Patriots running back, we're talking Stevenson here, Rhamondre Stevenson, round 1 to 2. I would never draft a Patriots back round 1 and 2, but as of right now, he is safe. Because Damian Harris is gone. He was there. He hoarded away, 106 rushing attempts. He's gone. So he's on the Bills now. What do you think of Stevenson this year? Why does he suck? This is your guy.
Yeah, it's the situation. And I am speculating a little bit. I do believe New England has sucked ever since Brady left. It's not the same team. Mac Jones can't get it done. Their fans are used to winning, used to having really good teams. And they haven't had that now for the last couple of years. So now they need to make a push. I believe they need to bring in some of the talent, some of these big name guys that are still available. Like we said, the free agents out there, a DeAndre, a Dalvin Cook, any of these top name guys, they need to bring them in. They need to make their fans happy. So I am speculating a little bit here, and I don't like the situation. And I think that Rhamondre is going to be hurt by someone good coming in.
Yeah, there was talk about Dalvin Cook maybe ending up there. There was talk, Hopkins might come in, that might help him. But, I'm just saying, there's just so many different variables, so many, available running backs, and Bill Belichick hates fantasy. He is out to screw your team. And he's actually come out and said it. I hate fantasy football. And he's always run by committee. So the fact that Stevenson's sitting there with no one there that's going to take some volume away from him is pretty wild. That's why I like him where he sits now. But I just don't see that being sustainable and viable as we get closer to the season. Too many free agent running backs lingering. Yeah. Bill Belichick's going to pull one in, get the veteran experience in that running back group, and hoard away from Stevenson. I don't like it. Don't feel warm and fuzzy. Now, does he suck as a player? Not really. He had a good campaign last year, just over 1,000 yards, right? So I don't think he sucks as a player. I think he's just sucky situation potentially.
And that's the thing. I'm not saying he's a crap player either. I'm saying it is the situation and me speculating that they need to make their fans happy, and they're going to bring in a couple other marquee guys to try to bolster up the team, and it's going to hurt him.
Oh, hold on. I had to sneeze that. I had to throw that. Sorry.
Okay, that's not a bad one either. I kind of like that one. Don't overuse it.
Okay, you know why I came up with that one? So I was on with Gwen, and she says that I think it was Deontay Johnson, because Deontay Johnson is a good player, but he had 0 touchdowns last year. And basically, so he's allergic to the end zone. And I wish I had the sneeze back then. I didn't. Now I've got it.
That's what the sound effects are all about, my man, is perfect timing. And that would have been the time.
Absolutely. All right, we got the last one here, and this guy, I'm telling you, I'm not excited about him at all. And you know, last year was hurt, played 10 games, 752 yards. The guy I'm talking about is Keenan Allen. And I'm looking for the downfall of Keenan Allen. I'm not wishing he gets hurt. I just wish that he just falls off the. No, okay, that's not a good one either. Okay, I just wish that he just doesn't. Okay, I wish he doesn't play. I wish he's benched. Okay, Quentin Johnston. I'm all in on the first round pick by the Chargers. Justin Herbert, new offensive coordinator. Keenan Allen, again, 10 games last year, 4 touchdowns, 752 yards. Tim, not his first, second, or third season. This guy, not his 7th, 8th, 9th season, not even his 10th season. He is going into his 11th season. He's 31 years old. Yeah. I hope they just use him out of the slot at best, and they really start utilizing the deep threat. And actually, he's a good mix of size and speed. Is Quentin Johnston. Love the talent. Been watching the tape. Drafted in the first round. And he's around 7th to 8th round if you want to draft him in your fantasy leagues, 12-person, 1-point PPR. Keenan Allen came off in the 3rd round, but he's old. He's washed. He's done. I don't believe in him. He's coming ahead of young, dynamic talent like Calvin Ridley coming back with Trevor Lawrence throwing the ball, Drake London, guys like that ahead of them. 31 years old, Tim, 11 seasons, way too high draft capital, and they've drafted a guy in the 1st round. I am so far away from Keenan Allen. This is the last person. You give me this guy for free, I'm not taking him. Not taking him.
So this is the one where you and I disagree. I would not say that he sucks. I would not say that he's going to suck this year. He's never had like that massive pinnacle year, I would say. I was looking back at him. He's a very consistent player. He's a Julio Jones type guy. Consistent 1,200 yards, 6 to 8 touchdowns almost every year. This is just a reliable, safe guy that can give you some pretty good numbers. He is getting older, but I still think he's got some time to do it. I still think he's got 1 or 2 more pretty decent years into him. So I think he's still going to have another good year this year, if he's healthy.
I hope not. I hope he really...
This is one of those guys I don't understand why you are so negative on him. He is a good player, good consistency. Yeah, he's had some injury issues a little bit here and there, but he's just one of those good all-around players that's he's not gonna bust normally, and he's not gonna give you that high I'm wide receiver 1 thing.
I'm not listening to you because you said Jonathan Taylor sucks.
Yeah. Good call, yes.
All right.
F you, Baldguy.
All right, yeah. So that's it for us today, and yeah. There's some sucky players. And I'm going to do another suck episode here where I go through more players, one suck from each team, and going to be ripping into them and screaming at them. But today we had the more calm setting, right, with the audience and everything. It was just more of a calm setting. Yeah. All right, Tim, that's it. 10 players that suck. Make sure you guys subscribe. Tim the Baldguy. People are excited to see you, man. People are happy that you're coming.
I am not a crook.
Yeah, crook.
Nah, it's good, man. Yeah. That's an old thing. You're too young, man. You're too young.
Yeah, I don't get that. All right. We'll talk soon, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, thumbs up. Do not draft these guys except for Jonathan Taylor because Tim's crazy. And yeah, we'll talk soon, guys. Thanks for out and content coming every single day. We'll talk soon. Tim, hold on.
A clap as I walk off the stage with my head down.
With the wave.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're out. Talk soon.
Bye.